Hello everyone, this is Bob and Threadbare, and welcome back to Deus Ex. Now we could go downstairs, but there are a couple of things still up here that I should probably check. See,
big operation down there.
Two of these computers actually have unique things on them, and I'd like to see them both before we go all the way down to the basement. Oddly enough, they are both manned by female employees here. First one's in the third shift section. You can see she's got all shifts, but also internal security. Turns out she's a plant. Now the second unique computer is the one belonging to Destiny Savannah. And, I was wondering what was up with the name. Turns out it's fake. She's a plant too. And hey, Hundley knew about it too.
You missed the psionics people.
Maybe I should have killed him. Loading. I guess I know where we are already. That hand kind of gives it away too.
You the one they just cleared for level 1?
Yeah, that's me.
You are welcome to stroll around the laboratories, but respect the work that we do here. Your security pass can be cancelled with no warning.
I've looked forward to this for a long time.
Security is watching through the cameras. If you cause trouble, an alarm will sound, and the guards won't wait to ask questions.
Yes, sir. I'll try not to get in anyone's way.
Do not ask the scientists questions. They are very busy. The Americans are here, so everyone has to be a little more formal today. Welcome to the Level 1 laboratories. Sorry, we do not give tours. Welcome to the Level 1 laboratories.
You wouldn't think JC would be able to communicate sarcasm, but there you go.
They don't let me talk to lab personnel.
Yeah, he's gonna be boring. So, anybody remember this hand from the intro? Also, if you were wondering if that globe there was a solid object or not, you can test it, and the answer is no. The giant globe is a hologram. Take note of that. I won't be doing anything with it, but... So yeah, anyway, we are down here in incognito.
You shouldn't be back here.
So nobody realizes what we're here to do.
I'm on duty.
Which is good, because there's a lot of heavy weapons around here. Would not be good to be hit by any of them. Let's hear some chats.
It's really a question of abstraction.
Exactly.
You can't be dealing with this sort of thing on the base pair level.
Essentially what I told Miss Chow. Tissue augmentation. It's not a matter of twiddling bits.
Carry on with your business.
We need to stay focused on tools.
In principle, yes, I agree.
The older scientists don't grasp what it means to have so much data.
Still, we have to throw them a bone once in a while.
With the right software, organism design should be indistinguishable from CAD/CAM.
We'll rip up another non-Mendelian. They love the Karkians.
Keep your security pass with you at all times. Guess we both have to work late.
You met the American team? Have a look around. The project is finally starting to heat up.
We're having an important discussion.
Just talking shop? Never mind us.
We're having an important discussion.
Tell Simons we're close. Very close.
The mix between authentic and fake accents in this game is very interesting to experience.
It is a simple request.
Lab procedure forbids.
The psionics laboratory.
The psionics laboratory has no business worrying about weak interactions between incidental subatomic particles.
Ah, crap, I interrupted them.
I am not allowed to speak to visitors.
Scientific progress depends upon collaboration.
Maybe you should cross your legs, onto yourself, and try to read my mind.
The sharing of data between departments should be automatic.
VersaLife did not achieve 1 trillion credit equity by disclosing R&D materials.
We work in the same building.
Our results can be understood only by a few dozen people on the planet, none of whom are psionics engineers.
Do not interfere with the experiment.
This is an experiment?
I'm trying to talk here.
This is a private conference.
How rude.
One of yours?
Stop interrupting.
Really? We have reserved the room for the next 2 hours.
Oh, this looks promising. A couple of data cubes in there. I feel like I should be thinning out the herd of all this lab security, so to speak. There's a very precise way I think I can pull this off, but I need this guy to be inside the room with everyone else first. And then I can fire a WP round, and looks like I just winged that one guy. Not that it mattered. Spooked all the scientists around here, though. But that guy is on break, and he is dedicated to his union. Anyway, luckily those guys are out of this room, so I can explode the cabinet here and take a look at these things without spending any lockpicks. Ah, the password is Damocles. Sounds important to remember. Now let's have a look in the armory or guard break room, or whatever the hell this is supposed to be. Looks like that's ballistic armor up there. And hey, the WP round blew up this cabinet too. And also we got the security terminal password and login. If I can type this out. There we go. Okay. So these cameras do not react, but we can open a door from here. And in fact, we can open 2 doors. If you look closely, just underneath the hand, it turns out there's a sliding trap door. Neat. Go figure they hide something under the giant "We Are Evil" ostentatious sculpture thing. And we can actually see the rest of the level from up here. It's nice that they've got these glass floors, and no, you cannot break them. That is unbreakable glass.
I don't recall being informed of any visitors. Your activities here have been noted. We will have many questions to ask your department head.
Now the thing about MIBs is that they can take even a sniper bullet to the head, but with a sword, you can knock them out in one hit. The only trouble is that they explode, but if you're fast enough, you can avoid being harmed by their death. Also, you may have noticed just there that Maggie Chow has apparently been given research access. So that sounds like that's also important in the future. And oh no, you don't get to hit the alarm panel. You neither. Even though I'm sure you probably wouldn't have, but hey, I gotta kill some middle manager today. Let the other guy get away, but not you. You definitely know what's going on here. So anyway, the ventilation system in this game is actually, well, in this level, is actually remarkably comprehensive, I guess you could say. There are a few different places you can come out. Like, that actually leads into the elevator shaft. We'll be seeing it a few other times, but there's no need to go down there just yet. Now, this corridor here has a lot of side passages here. I'm guessing that's mostly for that Greasel I just killed to hide or to hide from the greasel, and you can fall out through that particular grate if you wanted to onto the giant-ass hand, but that's not recommended. You would take damage even with level 4 super speed like I've got. But this is the other normal end, the bathroom. You might have seen me open the grate before. But that's not all. Like I said, the ventilation system on this map is very extensive. And what that means is that with a little super speed, you can get up onto the sculpture here and enter one of these two holes in the wall pillars to get into further ventilation systems. And this actually goes further, or goes... yeah, I'll explore this first. This goes straight to that elevator shaft I was just telling you about. It's the elevator we took to get to that second floor, the overlook area. You can see it's still up on the top floor. Normally it'd be just beneath me. Anyway, you can get down from here to the overlook area or down into the labs just by using the elevator shaft. But then there's another place you can go from here. Both sides connect down here and lead to this particular vent.
The ramen coating should be in this wing of the laboratory.
Yeah, this wing, he says. I am standing on top of the ramen coding computer. This is exactly where it is. The ventilation system delivered me exactly where I needed to be. However, I am not going to use the computer yet. Using the computer sets off an alarm and turns everybody hostile. And you may have noticed that despite killing a whole lot of guards, the ones down here seem not to have noticed. I mean, I've even had them set off alarms in test recordings, and they're oblivious so long as I do not download the ROM module. Also, that guy got to live, because otherwise he'd be too loud and get the WIB who was there a heads up. You do not want to give the M or WIBs a heads up. So up here we've got the way back upstairs to the giant-ass sculpture. And then we've got level 2 access right through this walkway. Unfortunately, this keypad is infinitely secure, and we will not be getting the code on this particular run through the laboratories. Don't want him getting in the way later. Still, there's quite a bit of lab left to explore, so I should get on that. Like over here is another guard room. I think we all know the cure to a guard room like this. And surprisingly few people notice, including the person on the second floor here.
The labs are down.
You deserve that for being such an idiot, my friend. I am sorry. But, as it is wont to do, the WP round exploded most of the lockers here. Unfortunately, there's no key this time. So, I suppose I'll have to use a lockpick, but fortunately, we've got a lockpick and a multi-tool inside, along with 50 credits, which is nice, I guess. Not awesome, but it'll do. Nothing up here? Oh, hey there, buddy.
I think you're lost.
Can you see me now? Good. Got more lockers here. Not much useful in them, though. I mean, this one is locked, but as I recall, all it has is a standard pistol. Kind of lame for 2 picks or an explosive. Other than that, actually this facility looks pretty much like the one that's on the roof of this very building. Oh, hey there, buddy. What do you know? One of the MJ-12 guards finally figured out what was going on. Man, that guy deserves a commendation for figuring this out. I mean, he's dead, so it'd have to be post-mortem, but still. And this is the elevator shaft. This is where it comes out. We're not completely. There's still a level below us. And that's actually the laboratories, which we're about to see now. Hey, don't those two look familiar?
Process is going smoothly then?
Better than we expected. The array of reaction modules has allowed the UC to perform multiple constructions in parallel.
Wonderful. We'll have to try that trick at Area 51.
The program, you understand, is primarily a security concern.
Never mind that punk from UNATCO. The security here is adequate, and we have a long-term program guaranteed to make him irrelevant. We call it Icarus.
Icarus?
A sweet bit of engineering. You'll like it, but we can't talk here. Your office?
No time. Tell me on the way.
I am the best at stealth. So anyway, more security terminals here, but they all connect to the same 3 cameras. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. They've got 3 times as many cameras upstairs than in their...
The directive provided very specific instructions for you to follow.
Than in the top secret labs down here.
I don't want to be disturbed.
I cannot answer any of your questions.
I have 2 words for whomever wrote this biometrics package. User interface. I have to concentrate. Somebody's going to have to totally gut this thing and start over. How do they expect to express a high-level feature in a genome if they can't even come up with a topologically sound representation? That's enough. I really must work. That's enough. I really must work.
You look lost. You must be with Simon's office. Be sure that he understands we're doing the best we can. A crew device not very secure. Self-replication is handled downstairs in a separate facility. A crew device not very secure. Self-replication is handled downstairs in a separate facility.
So, we use the login, mchow, and the universal password, which we saw earlier. And, yeah, we enter the magnetic chamber, shut down all of the pain that would have been inflicted on us. The emails are the same as in Maggie Chow's own area. And then we enjoy ourselves. Look at all of this sweet, sweet canisters. And this is how you'd open the canisters without the computer. Alright, 2 new augmentations. First is radar transparency versus cloaking. Basically whether you want to be invisible to robots and cameras or to organics. And the thing is that overall organics are more dangerous than robots and cameras, so cloak it is.
Something odd about his biometrics.
Second, we've got the eyes aug. First is target information and increases to overall accuracy with every weapon you use. Second, we've got vision enhancement. This sort of puts a screen in the middle of your display and lets you see either in the dark, see people highlighted eventually, and it looks kind of neat, but ultimately it's not very useful. So I'm actually going with the accuracy and target information aug instead. And lastly, we've got a canister that we've already got. Second chance to get
That's enough. I really must work.
Second chance to get the cranial aug. What the hell this is an experiment on?
I'm afraid we don't have time for visitors right now.
If you're wondering about the combat music, it's because there's a couple of greasels in here and one of them is agitated by my presence.
Please, you'll upset the subject. This one did better than most, but he is very excitable.
They're talking about the bum here.
The neural tissue in particular failed to express certain proteins. Really, you should go. Irregular nitrogen expression, you understand? No immune response, however. That should get us another big check from Walter Simon, don't you think? I've told them before, new neurons are the answer. We need to reconfigure what is already there. This one did better than most. He is very excitable.
Hey, it's a dead alien. Go figure.
I'm the captain here.
So the bum's going to cause a little havoc with the security around here. The greasels would too, but they'd also cause havoc with me, and I'm not really up for that. This is the other door you can open with security. And it lets you into this area here. This area is radioactive. You do not want to wander around in it. And also, it's got live aliens in it. Except they aren't actually aliens, exactly. See, the idea is that near Area 51 there was the crashed alien spaceship, and what these are clones of the dead aliens. That's why they're animalistic in nature, because they weren't taught anything. They don't have any sort of learned knowledge. They were essentially cloned to examine how their biological systems work. Also, these two should be talking, but
your purpose for being here remains unclear.
They aren't. This conversation broke. It's kind of sad. I had to work once. Just not this time, unfortunately. Something interesting about a super freighter around here. Second chance to get the Damocles password. And I do not... Yeah, that's the bum screwing with the MIBs. They won't even talk to me. Weird. But I do not believe that whatever is in that cabinet up there is worth 3 picks. It's like some sort of scientist farm. I don't believe these scientists are being held against their will, however. Huh. You lasted longer than I expected. Also, the MIB did not notice all of the dead MJ-12 troopers just through the doorway there. But it's about to not matter at all. Ambrosia looks weird. So we can log in here with the same password and get the Blade ROM. Email's the same. So let's get out of here.
I have uploaded the component the Triads need to complete the sword. Go to the temple next to the market. I will bring together the dragon heads for a meeting.
Now, fortunately, in Go Figure, I've happened to clear out the entire way back before I even needed to. How convenient. In fact, the security up here goes hostile to you too, so it's a good thing I took care of them.
I was down in the labs. Do you know what they're doing?
Something with genetics and nanotech, that's all I know.
Take my advice and get out of here. I can't tell you any more than that.
I'd tell you more, but then they'd kill you. Also, yeah, Secretary's gone hostile too. After all, she is a security plant. So has the woman in the third shift, but thankfully I don't actually have to walk past her at all. So, got the ROM encoding. Time to head back into Tong's laboratory.
What are you doing here? The Triad leaders are waiting in the temple. Go to the temple.
Ah, now he tells me. Yeah, I forgot. But thankfully the temple is right outside the compound. No need for a long walk. Because here we are.
Let us be quiet. Agent Denton from America has retrieved the software component. Please accept our gratitude.
It is my honor.
Begin.
As the faces of a perfect blade are reflections of one another, as they join together to make a perfect edge, so we shall form one blade, not the male and female swords of Ganjiang, one which must avenge the other, but one weapon, precise in its purpose, though wielded by many arms.
And much as the steel sharpens its edge and anneals its own surfaces, let us preserve, together, the form of our traditions.
The only enduring work of man, that which is born again with the next generation.
Forever.
Forever.
Again, accept our thanks, Mr. Denton. You will have to join us for drinks at the Lucky Money later tonight. In the meantime, Mr. Tong wants to see you.
Thanks for the offer. Maybe I'll stop by.
All right, get out. Enough games in the temple. Come, join us for drinks at the Lucky Money. We must celebrate.
Now I'm disappointed that there wasn't a shootout here.
The grandfathers of the Triads all had Uzis. Tradition? Bah. It is not the way of the Buddha to idolize a material possession. I foresee they will understand the error only at the end, facing death, when it is no longer possible to worship the samsaric world. Go away.
Alright. Well, let's go see Tracer Tong.
I cannot believe the news. The Triad are won?
How did he get back there?
Please accept the gratitude of the luminous path.
I will believe this news of the truth when I hear it from the dragon head.
I want to learn more about the terms of the peace.
We must be certain that you are not an agent of the Red Arrow.
I want to learn more about the terms of the peace.
This might all be a deception.
Alright, well, let's cut out the long-ass walk.
Peace between the Triads is now official.
Good. We begin to operate from a position of strength. We will start manufacturing the swords and distributing them to our allies.
What next? VersaLife was crawling with troops. I think they were hiding more than sword technology down there.
Tell me about the labs. Paul and I concluded that VersaLife does the manufacturing, while the real research takes place in North America.
Plenty of scientists. Biotech, physics, nanotech, several research divisions. It would seem we still have a mutual interest.
We know they manufacture ambrosia. If you went back and gained access to the Level 2 labs, perhaps you would find something on the Grey Death. Your brother's failure in New York has left me with nothing.
Do you think you could find a cure?
That cannot be determined until I have a schematic of the virus particle and the molecular structure of ambrosia.
I'll go back, but won't they be ready for me?
There's a back way at the north end of the Canal Road Tunnel, which is just east of the temple. I sent an agent in that way once. She turned up a key code to the Nanotech Research Wing, 55655, but no data.
Worth a try.
By the way, VersaLife lost one of their R&D men in the Canal Road Tunnel collapse. A guy we think was carrying nanotech assets. He did some of the basic research that went into your implants. You might take a look, if you don't mind going for a dive.
Maybe I'll check it out.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the only hint you'll ever get that that whole Canal Road section exists in the Canals map.
Perhaps you can locate and destroy the manufacturing facilities as well. I will monitor your progress from here. Perhaps you can locate and destroy the manufacturing facilities as well.
Well, that's what Daedalus wants me to do, so might as well.
I've been checking out the schematics you found. That's one hell of a sword. It's a generally accepted tenet of nanotechnology that nanites and traditional metals don't mix, but VersaLife found a way. It all seems completely obvious to me now. They actually embed iron rods in the carbon framework of the nanites, electromagnets which allow microscopic scanners, cleaners, and hammers to move over the surface of the blade. Tong's very pleased. He plans to mass-produce the Dragon's Tooth and arm the Triads. I'd like to know what else VersaLife has going on down there. Tong's keeping me busy. He wants me to verify that the Dragon's Tooth won't set off the acoustic sensors the city government installed to detect gunfire. We found a useful ally in Tong. I just hope he can be trusted. I'll be right here if you need me.
It is nice to have Alex at our back.
I cannot. I am not allowed.
Okay. I mean, even if he isn't going to be our, the guy in our earpiece anymore, it's still interesting. Also, I'm gonna need room pretty soon here.
At last, we are one triad. My good friend, let me express my gratitude. A bottle of wine. On me. Yum Sing.
Time is up.
This is my club. Let me give you one of our better wines. An imported vintage from Napa Valley.
One customer twice. Not allowed.
But if you want a truly excellent wine, you should try this Beaujolais from the Moulin-à-Vent region of France.
Satisfied? Yes?
The peace you have created between our two triads is a truly precious gift. Please accept our finest vintage. A Chianti from a private winery in Questa Grossa, Italy. 2015. Yum Sing.
Time is up.
Your name will be recorded for all time in the annals of the luminous path. Please enjoy yourself. You are my guest at the Rocky Money. A trifle, don't mention it. Let us drink in your honor.
And do you have the capacity for large shipments?
Any product, any port of origin, any destination.
I might have some items. A certain segment of inventory.
The luminous path can ship penguins to Norway and document that they came from Japan.
Time is up.
Your operations must have been difficult without official protection.
A minor inconvenience. Not as difficult as you must have found running a business without distribution.
Not even noticeable. The Red Arrow makes many big deals.
I will show you what big is. 50 tons per month, with no help from the big officials.
Time is up.
You guys done?
A trifle. Don't mention it. A rare man, the maker of peace.
One customer twice. Not allowed.
I guess the idea is that Ling there has been sort of bought for me. That's why she's following me around. But anyway, as much as Gordon and Max upsold the wine, it's just wine in the inventory. I think the voice actor also kind of forgot that they had different voices, because he does both of them. Anyway, just like I promised, today we're heading back to Science Corner. This time to talk about the second most obvious bit of science in Deus Ex, human enhancement. Looking back. The story of human enhancement begins long before humans even existed. After all, every tool-using animal is enhancing itself by modifying its environment. A bird will build a nest to make up for how its round eggs tend to roll off of branches. A chimpanzee will strip a branch to fish termites out of a nest to make up for how none of its limbs or tongue can do the job, unlike, say, an anteater. Neanderthals created thick, heavy spears to cut animals deeper than their claws or teeth could manage. Cro-Magnons made their spears lighter so they could throw them and thus keep well away from the pointy bits of a wounded animal. Every scientific advancement in history has been an attempt to improve the abilities of the human species. But I'm sure you just want me to talk about the technologies we can apply directly to the human body. Well, that's got a long history too, one that's based on the materials we've had access to. Once we could carve wood, we made peg legs. With metal, we made hooks to replace missing hands. With fabric, we tied a cloth to cover a missing eye. Oh, and incidentally, do you know why the classic pirate looks so maimed? It's because if you lost a body part, the age of sail navies would kick you out. Since there was no Veterans Affairs at the time, and they often had no other skills, pirating they would go. Once we could make lenses, we created eyeglasses to make up for poor eyesight, and we long ago replaced lost teeth with whatever we could carve up to take their place. When plastics were invented, we created artificial limbs that mimic the color and shape of real extremities, and we can stick various machines into the body to make up for failing organs. Pacemakers, heart pumps, dialysis machines, iron lungs, hearing aids, titanium hips, and other joints. Basically, we could put your brain in a jar right now, but it'd be unethical. And a tremendously expensive means to torture someone, since we wouldn't be able to hook any sensory organs in there with you. Looking forward. No, I'm about to tell you stuff that's happening today. We're looking now. Once prosthetics reached the point of appearing the same as actual body parts, medical researchers began to look to replacing the abilities of the missing limbs instead. It started simple, with just a curved piece of metal to replace the springing action of the lower leg. Then they developed other assorted legs for walking, jogging, swimming, skating, whatever you needed to do. Now they're working on a leg that can handle every function at once, and let you walk just like the limb was still there. Or maybe even better. See, they're also developing artificial muscles out of carbon nanotubes and paraffin wax, which are 85 times as strong as an equivalent volume of organic muscles. Hands are quite naturally harder to replicate given the fine and precise controls necessary, but we're advancing on that front too. Where an amputee would have needed to use his or her chin or working arm to control an artificial arm, he or she can now have their arm nerve rerouted into the chest in order to control sensors on the prosthesis. If you've only lost part of the arm, even better. You can control the fingers on a prosthetic arm with the muscles in your stump. But still, muscle control can't be as precise as direct mind-to-nerve connection. But not to fear, we're working on that too. After extensive trials on monkeys, we've developed a chip which can be implanted directly beneath the skull, which will allow you to manipulate distant objects with just a thought. Whether it's chasing a ball on a screen or moving a robotic arm or leg. With time, an entire robotic body could be manipulated this way. And electronic telepathy? Last year, we started testing direct mind-to-mind connections in lab rats. As we learned recently with Oscar Pistorius and his successful attempts to join the regular Olympics, prosthetics have now reached the point where artificial limbs are no longer disabilities, but are, at least in specific instances, enhancements. Guess we'll start after calling them cyborgs soon. And I, for one, would be intrigued by a Cyberlympics. Personal thoughts. I mentioned before in the drug corner that I'm perfectly content with my current state of mind and body, with the range of abilities and perceptions which I can achieve without outside help. Mind you, if my bits were to fail or fall off, I'd be open to replacing them. I wear glasses, for instance, but you won't ever find me in a line to get something hacked off. Not even if I knew its replacement would be a universal upgrade over the flesh and bone I'm using now. As for brain implants, I'm afraid I know far too much about computers and the internet to ever want to connect them directly to my mind. Again, though, that's assuming my brain stays under warranty. Still, there are some promising developments on the horizon for squeamish folks like myself. Although direct implants will doubtlessly remain ahead, since the skull dampens brainwave reception, various companies are also working on receptors, which do not require surgery of any kind. For instance, Samsung has partnered with the University of Texas to create an EEG cap, which can allow the wearer to select objects on a screen without touching it. The cap is cumbersome and uncomfortable and uses a ton of wires to do a few simple tasks your finger could do a whole lot faster, but it'll get better. The day may soon come when someone like me, who's attached to all his parts, pardon the pun, will be able to put on a metal circlet, strap on a pair of extra arms, and multitask the hell out of something without any need to so much as cut the skin. Hell, just in the process of testing out all of this new prosthetic kit, we're figuring out how to create a powered exoskeleton. Thanks for joining me again in Science Corner, and I hope I'll see you soon.